Core differences between men and women. And you've probably heard this part before, is that men relate to the world, we relate through logic and reason, and women relate to the world through emotions and feelings. And just think right now, just think about, any conversation where you've had with women where you're telling her facts and she's just like, but I feel like, that's how women kind of operate with that, through their emotions and feelings. Now, a lot of guys know this, and remember this part because there is a trap that us men fall into, even when we know this basic understanding. Okay. Now, here's basically how us men communicate. We communicate in a straightforward fashion. All right. As men, we pride ourselves on being clear, upfront, and straightforward. What we say is what we mean. Our word is our bond. Information and content for us men is key. And this makes sense, right? Think about in the business world. You don't want to do business with someone shady, a shady guy. You don't trust shady men. You want to be upfront. If you lose your word as a man, that's devastating. A handshake should be the word that should be able to seal the bond. For men, our word is our bond, and so how we communicate is straightforward, right to the point. Let's just get it solved. That is how us men communicate. All right, now how women communicate. Think of an iceberg. What a woman says is just the tip of the iceberg. All right, right up there. If you're looking, actually, maybe you can see my mouse here. Oh, yeah, the tip of the iceberg, right? This is what a woman says. Below this, what she means is a completely different story. For a woman, context is key. Content for men, like what you say is what you get, that's key for us. That's that logical, rational thing. What you say is what you should mean. But for women, it's not that way at all. What women, and this is, if you think of, if you've ever been out with women and she's like, oh, did you see the look that girl just gave me? Did you see the look on her face? And you're like, what are you talking about? Because women look at everything around what is actually being presented. So context for women is key. That is why that little iceberg, that top part of what she says, that's very rarely what she actually means. So understand this, guys. She is light years ahead. Women are light years ahead in this social game. So ever since grade school, women spend their time together talking and communicating with each other. Slumber parties where they talk about boys all night. And us guys, this is how I grew up, right? We get our guys together for a slumber party. We're linking up we're hubbing up our Xboxes and playing Halo parties where we focus on a goal to achieve, not the communication part. Like, I would be shocked if any of you guys ever went to a boy slumber party and all you guys did is you go, hey, let's take our pillows out and let's just sit here and talk. Let's talk about our feelings. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. Guys don't do this. So again, women are light years ahead in this social game. This is what they spend all of their time doing. I was just at Starbucks. That would be a lame slumber party, Chris. I was just at Starbucks finishing up these slides earlier today, and I saw like 6 different groups of either 2 or more women together, and they're sitting there communicating, just talking. Whereas I was looking around, there was 2 guys that were together, and they were like in a business thing. Like one was teaching the other guy, and then other than that, it was like one other guy who's reading by himself, and then another guy just doing his own thing. Women are communicators. So we got they're quite a bit ahead of us socially in this aspect. Okay, now here's the other thing, and this is like where when you pedestalize women, like I definitely used to do, and there's such a mystery. You don't understand that women can be extremely ruthless, and we're gonna dive into a little bit of why, so you can understand this. Now, This is just for your own safety, because there will be things that women do that you go, there's no way I would have ever done that. That doesn't make any sense. I can't believe she did that. And it's just part of the game. We're different, right? As men, our words are bond. We just can't imagine doing certain things. It's different for women, but her IceBerg communication style is makes perfect sense for her strategically. All right. When you take a moment to put yourself in her shoes, which we will in the next couple slides here, but she's not going to feel bad about any misunderstandings that she gives you. If you're confused by women, women don't care. They don't sit here and try to make it easy for you. They don't try to go, all right, I'm just going to give it to you exactly what you want. No, no, no. And you got to remember that her life is nothing like ours. Now, here is why women do not feel bad about any misunderstandings is her life experience. Now we're putting ourselves inside a woman's shoes, all right? She can't trust men. This is what her life experience teaches. And when you think about it, imagine if every single day since you're 15 years old, at some point in your day, probably multiple times, you're going to be told you're amazing. You're so great. You're amazing by some betamon. Some guy is going to tell you how amazing you are. So you got to just think, if you're a woman, right? Just start thinking, all right, you're hearing how amazing you are, and you're knowing in your head, like, they don't even know me. How can they say that? All right, so you're hearing that constantly. Imagine every single day being told how beautiful and gorgeous you are. All right, now it's not only when a girl gets done up that she feels this way, and she can be like, yeah, I know I look good, great. But think about now the girl that rolls out of bed and goes grocery shopping with no makeup on and sweats. And she gets a guy hitting on her saying, I love your natural look. You're so beautiful. And in her head, she's going, I know I don't look my best. So think about it. She literally is kind of trained to think all men are full of lies. Men aren't truthful, because this is what she operates in. This is different than us, guys. We know, like, to us as men, at least for me growing up, and I have two older brothers, if you are deceiving other men, like, you get put in your place with men, and I don't know, it's just that you learn to communicate in a different way with men, because, like, sports team and stuff, you got to be able to trust each other. It's just a different world. And so if you think about this, would you trust what men say if you're a woman? I mean, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't if I had guys constantly throwing these compliments at me. All right, now, to make matters worse, her media experience is also that she can't trust men. Imagine every day when you turn on the TV, every news article you read, every news media source blasting the same message continuously about how you are oppressed and you're misled by the patriarchy. Now, to us guys, we can see these articles and we can rationally look at them and go, no, I know that doesn't happen. I know not all men are like that. No way. And so we can rationalize that. But again, to a woman whose her whole perspective is, since she's been 15, she gets guys basically lying to her to try to get in her pants her whole life. And then she hears this news media and it's all about, like, empowering women. Women have no incentive to question that. So again, this is how their mind is being formed. Which, again, would you trust what men say when you're hearing all this? And this is again why women can be very ruthless and they do not feel bad about it. All right, now, so always remember that. She won't feel bad. It's a fact of life you have to accept when you interact with women. The woman you marry is not the same woman you see in court. I've heard this many times now from guys that I've watched, listened to, that talk about divorce court, something like that, and they go, "Hey, that same woman you marry, Chris, you can attest to that personally. The same woman you marry, right? You're looking at her in all of the best light possible. She's such a mystery, so everything she does is just kind of cute. It's a mystery." So you don't even think that this other side of her can come out. But again, we just saw women communicate differently, and they've been hit on their whole life, so they don't trust men in that sense. And they're told not to trust men by feminism and media and all that. So again, this is another warning of why you can think you're with a unicorn, but Um, you know, when you walk into the lion's den, don't be surprised if you get mauled. This is your warning, basically. Okay? That's exactly why we're learning the defense right now, so that hopefully it doesn't get to that part. What's up, Alex? Okay, so core differences trap. All right, now we know when I talked about this earlier, and I said that, you know, most of us know this, men versus women, that men relate to the world around them through logic and reason, and women relate to the world around them through emotions and feelings. Okay, most of us know this by now. This is no secret. However, what a lot of guys don't realize is that the trap is, in regards to love and relationships, women operate very logically in with reason. They're very opportunistic. Men operate with their emotions and feelings, and they're very romantic. Okay? Think about that for a second, guys. We know as we go through the world that women are emotional. I'm in my feelings and all that. So again, we think that women are like this always. We think that women are the romantics because they tell us that. We think that women are the, oh, I'm just emotional, I love him, and all that stuff. So we don't think as seriously about this as we should. But when it comes to relationships, you literally trade places. Okay, this is where our biology has made us this way. And so a woman's biology with her hypergamy, it's very rational. We've talked about the 6 6s. She's going to look for the guy that can provide the best thing for her life. It's very rational. Oh, this guy doesn't make as much money as that guy? Well, now she might give this other guy a chance. It's very rational. It's opportunistic. And this is how women, their biology is very rational when it comes to love and relationships, but it's emotional and feelings based when it comes to basically everything else. And as men, we like to consider ourselves so rational in like that we're operating always like we're always thinking things through. But when it comes to love in our brains, we are the protectors. That's how biology has designed us. So our biology has made us extremely romantic and not rational when it comes to love, because if a woman's going to find the best man that she can settle down with, and then that guy, in our brains, our brains can produce is it oxytocin, and we have some brain chemicals that get produced, and we can basically work up a love in our own head with our own chemicals that make us do things that we wouldn't normally ever do when it comes to women. A man's love is not rational. All right, now this is the trap that we have to very, very much understand. Women are extremely rational with love. Men are extremely romantic. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe. Peace.